There are three division games this week. The Commanders and the Cowboys are facing one another. The Commanders just ate it against the Chicago Bears, who have won 3 in a row. And they're going to go for 4 in a row by taking on a Saints team that comes into Chicago 1-5. But I mentioned Commanders and Cowboys because that's also, as I mentioned, one of 3 division games that's going down in week number 7. First time Dak and Jaden Daniels will be facing off against one another. Right. Because Dak missed both of those contests in Jaden Daniels' stellar rookie season. His sophomore campaign is off to an injury-marred 3-3 start. The Raiders and the Chiefs are playing a divisional contest in Kansas City as the Chiefs are looking to go above 500 for the first time this year. Raiders, however, coming off of their first win against the Tennessee Titans, who fired their coach. And now, the reason why I'm bringing all of this up is to preview tonight's Thursday night football game, the 3rd divisional game of the week, the Steelers at the Bengals. And there's a lot at stake in this contest. And it's very simple. If the Cincinnati Bengals have any desire to turn their season around after starting 2-0 and going 0-4 since then, with 3 Jake Browning starts leading to 1 Joe Flacco acquisition and start, and 4 straight losses. If they have any desire to turn their season around, tonight is what we would call a must-win game. Because 2 reasons. 1, you don't want to lose a division game at home. That's easy, but it's very obvious. That said, you can always state the obvious when it's easy, and it's important. Because if they lose this game, they're 2-5, and they lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. And the Steelers are the only team that has a chance to win this division at present, with the 1-5 Ravens off and the 1-5 Browns getting set to start Dylan Gabriel for another contest, taking on the Miami Dolphins, hoping for them that they can win this game. The Dolphins, however, need it just as desperately. But the Cincinnati Bengals need to win this game, and on top of it, I have this handy-dandy chart, gents.
Oh, look at that thing.
What you got there?
From NFL Network, research department, the statistics that you've acquired. If you start 2-4 and you go 2-5, you have a 6.3% chance of making the playoffs.
Yikes.
Only 11 teams that started 2-5 out of the 174 since 1990 to start that way have made the playoffs.
I'm shocked it's that many.
If you go 3-4, you pop up to 19.2%, a 1-5 chance to make the playoffs, as opposed to a 6% chance of making the playoffs. The math does not math very well if you are the Cincinnati Bengals. And then on top of it, you've got the Pittsburgh Steelers. As I mentioned, right now at 4-1, they're the 2 seed in the AFC entering Week 7. Wow. They are the only team above 500 by far and away in the AFC North. As a matter of fact, the 4 wins for the Steelers are the exact amount of AFC North wins from the other 3 teams combined. 2 from the Ravens and 1 each. 2 from the Bengals and 1 each from the Ravens and the Browns. And the Pittsburgh Steelers in the past, when they take this big of a lead in division, Mike Tomlin, a 2.5 game lead entering tonight's contest. He's been 2.5 games above the field in the AFC North in 5 different seasons in his tenure as the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. They went on to win the AFC North in 3 of those 4 previous seasons. So they would have a 3.5 game lead if they win this game tonight. And then, of course, there's just the interesting aspect of this evening as well, which is 2 40-year-old guys going at it. And I believe Cam Hayward's the one who's calling this the Icy Hot Bowl.
Hot Bowl.
Okay. The Icy Hot Bowl, the Cold Tub Bowl, whatever you want to call it.
The Break Your Hip Bowl.
They are the Break Your Hip Bowl. I guess
let's hope that doesn't
That's not bad, too.
Icy Hot Bowl. I love it.
Good drop, Mikey D.
Del Tufo, you're listening.
Mikey D.
Rodgers and Flacco, a combined 82 years and 226 days old. That is the 5th oldest combination of starting quarterback matchups in a game since 1950, including the playoffs. Tom Brady was involved in the other 4 older than that. The 3 times Brady faced Drew Brees in that 2020 season, including the playoffs. Yep. And then Brady taking on Rodgers in Week 3 of 2022. That was the only other times we've seen an older gentleman matchup in this contest. It is the 4th time that Flacco and Rodgers have met as starters. Rodgers is 3-0 in this department. Also, you could see how Rodgers has a milestone moment this evening.
Yes, sir.
What is that, Christopher?
He's 115 yards behind Big Ben for 5th all-time on the career passing yards list.
And he's interestingly enough, as I got this stat just before we got in, how many yards has he shot?
115.
115. He's 115 yards shy of Ben Roethlisberger exactly on the most passing yards on Thursday night's all-time list. At 2022, he's
Wow.
115 behind Big Ben, exactly in that category. That's why I thought we saw the same stat.
No.
Of course, Tom Brady leads all of that. And in terms of some other interesting aspects of this evening, quarterbacks with most passing touchdowns to the most different receivers in the history of the NFL. Joe Flacco broke a tie for 5th place on the all-time such list with Matthew Stafford when he hit both Tanner Hudson and Jamar Chase for touchdowns last week. He trails Vinny Testaverde next on that list.
Hey.
Rodgers is 10th on this list with 60. And Brady leads
I was
that
going to
list.
say Brady has to lead.
96. Right? But here's the one that Brady truly leads more than ever and will never get caught. Rodgers, last week, when he threw for that touchdown pass to DK Metcalf, who's gotten a touchdown pass in 4 straight games. And as a matter of fact,
he's beasting right
he's
now.
got 7 touchdowns on Thursday nights, which is the most of any player since he came into the league in 2019. Aaron Rodgers threw his 38th touchdown pass as a 40-year-old. That's 3rd all time. Behind Drew Brees is 51. Tom Brady leads this list. You want to guess?
130 something?
I'm going to say 2.
How about 193?
Oh, jeez.
Close.
So we'll see what happens tonight when these 2 elderly gentlemen have at it in Cincinnati. This is a must-win game for the Cincinnati Bengals. If they lose it, they're 2-5, and you're now wondering why they went ahead and made this trade, which is exactly another side aspect of tonight's contest. Mike Tomlin being as vocal as he was about Andrew Berry
Oh, my gosh.
trading a quarterback
That
in
was-
division. You could see, like, he's pissed that he's taking on Flacco tonight.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
not that Flacco's, maybe in his mind appreciably better than Jake Browning, and he wanted to take on a guy that was having difficulty finding his own receivers in Jake Browning. I just think it made Tomlin just angry just as a coach, just as an old school mentality coach in this league.
We did yesterday with Tom the whole opening segment about this yesterday because we didn't really hit on it earlier in the week because I think Mike said this on Monday, right? And you could just see, and that was kind of our consensus yesterday, that Tom went in a rare moment of just pure honesty where he
Pissed.
was just so upset, mentioning first off, you don't see a head coach mention another team's general manager.
Tom said he's never.
by name,
Right.
And then just the look of disgust on his face, like I can't.
Because again, you have to wonder if he was good enough, as Tomlin said, if he was good enough to be your week 1
Opening day,
starter,
yeah.
then he's suddenly bad enough that you could trade him away, but to your own someone in division at a position of need.
And then they immediately start him.
Yep.
Well, here's the stat as to why the Steelers should win tonight. And we'll see if somehow, some way, the Bengals could do any better. But you have the team that leads the league in the NFL in yards after the catch. 71%, 71.8, so say 72% of Pittsburgh's passing yards in 2025 have come after the catch.
Ooh, okay.
Against the defense that has allowed the most yards after the catch in the NFL.
Oh man, okay.
So you've got the team with the most yak
And then
the
giving up
defense
the
that's
most.
given up the most yak.
Yeah.
And so yakety yak,
Don't talk back.
it does appear that the Steelers are positioned to win this short week game
Yeah.
coming into week 7. And if they do, they're 5-1 with their feet up on the desk watching the rest of week 7, including the Colts having to visit the Los Angeles Chargers. As I'm wondering if A.D. Mitchell's going to have, a little bit of flashbacks go walking back into SoFi Stadium, which is where he flipped the ball too soon.
Might have some stickum on his hands.
The Colts, if they lose that game, the Steelers could wind up being the
one
one
seed,
seed
yeah.
entering week number 8 in the NFL, which is exactly where you want to be. And there are no pictures in the standings. And say what you will about the Steelers, and we'll talk about them on Friday coming off of tonight's game. But they are set to be 5-1, and the Bengals 100% need to win this game. It is must-win territory already. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.